we have a new sponsor on the show. We have our friends over at wildheartstones.com. Sorry, Kyle. Kyle's one of my friends. She runs this company and she sells gems and amulets and talismans and bracelets and sage and all of your good foo-foo-y stuff that you guys all like.
It's honestly really cool stuff. This website,
beautiful gems, beautiful stones.
The interface on this website makes it very easy to see exactly what you're buying. Not only just gems and there's fossils, there's bracelets, there's a whole bunch of stuff here. There's a blog on this website.
She knows that her family has been digging up these gems for generations. So
yes.
This is the real deal Holyfield, guys. Check them out. And at your purchase, type in ICBTB for the promo code. Get 15% off.
Nice.
Wild Heartstone. We'll put the link in on our description and things like that.
Yeah, check it out, y'all.
It can't be that bad, oh, 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 it can't be that bad.
And welcome to It Can't Be That Bad.
Oh yeah, we got you, ICBTB. We got Dogmouth and Beard Face here with Baby Bass. And today we're gonna do our wet t-shirt contest. So ladies, come on down and get them pointed.
And coming in at number 1 is my dick.
And
Casey Kasem.
Coming in at number 2, Christian's mom.
What the fuck,
I'm
dude?
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Oh my God, she's right there.
Hi. My mom just made you a burrito, yo.
It was incredibly delicious. The burrito.
She could have toasted the tortilla, but
The tortilla did
she could have put it on a pan.
Shut up, that's my friend's mom.
The only thing that threw me was the spinach in the tortilla. Having a green burrito served me.
Really?
I've never had that before.
Really?
Yeah, no.
I mean, you can't even really taste it.
No, not at all. But, usually it's flour or corn in my house, not flour, corn, or spinach.
Corn for the win.
Have you had wheat tortilla before?
I've had a whole wheat tortilla. That tastes like ass.
They all taste the same.
I like the cayenne ones.
Ooh.
It's not actually spicier, but it makes me think that it is.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me think that it is.
Me thinks it is.
Oh, you're Irish now.
Sometimes.
Speaking of which, Warwick Davis has a cameo in this movie.
Is he Irish?
Yes.
I thought he was English.
No, Leprechaun. I'm sorry. I
Wow.
realized I left a lot of context.
Yeah.
Stereotyping.
No, but he did play Leprechaun, a movie that
I'm not
we
calling
did
him
watch.
a leprechaun.
No.
He played leprechaun.
And he's English,
Christian.
so that's easy to get mixed up. I mean, he's from the islands.
I don't want to do this episode.
Oh, no, I'm so sorry. I take back the look.
Turn the fan back on then.
Turn the fan back on. We have Alan in the studio, our producer. He specifically requested that a camera not be on him because he does not have a fresh cut.
I can fix it.
No,
Just turn it around.
Haircut right now.
That would be a fun episode. Cutting Alan's hair. Everybody gets one snip. Make it worth it.
Alan would never let us do that.
Huge podcast ratings. Huge.
I would never
Tremendous.
let anyone into this room touch my hair. I mean, you could touch it. Yeah, you could touch it. But I don't,
You still move back.
Can't cut it though.
yeah, just don't cut it.
Welcome.
Hey, welcome to another episode of ICBTB Podcast, also known as
It Can't Be That Bad Podcast. Wow.
Crazy. We've done this show before.
Yes, this is the podcast where two Bay Area natives highlight and defend underrated films. And today, we have not just an underrated film, but a straight up hated film by some people.
Really, it's ruined some of the actors' lives.
It
sadly.
literally sent a man to prison because he went crazy and almost killed his mother.
Yes.
Oof.
But, also, let's introduce our guest.
Yes.
Anger does lead to hate, guys. Anger does lead to hate.
And hate leads to fear. Mm-hmm. And fear leads to the dark
suffering.
side. And suffering leads to the dark side.
We have Greg Reasoner in the studio. Check out the Tuesday episode. We get
It was
real sweaty up in that
so
business.
good.
We
It
also
was so
we
good.
reconnect with the past. We found a time machine and we got to make one of Greg's dreams come true in front of the cameras. And
Like-
Christian took his shirt off at the very end. So I hope you guys stuck around for all of that.
Yeah.
Tears almost jerked straight from my eyes.
Other things were jerked when the cameras were off, though. Just so you know.
Chicken, Jamaican style.
Jerk chicken, baby. We just yelled at him, just like, you fucking dick.
Yo,
I was like, okay, I'll cry.
do you want to tell the baddies what movie we're watching?
We're
Or what movie we watched
what we're
and what we're
reviewing.
going to talk about?
okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a Star Wars movie coming in at Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
The Phantom Menace. Nice.
Sorry, I just love Casey Kasem, so I had to do him.
You have a good voice for the microphone, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I always thought it was a little too, nasally.
Well,
everyone thinks their voice is nasally.
Yeah.
Everyone hears it at a higher octave, but once you get used to it. Hey, we got a lot to get into. This movie's a boatload, so if it pleases the court,
It does please the court.
here comes the itty bitty nitty gritty committee. This movie was released in the year 1999. It has a runtime of 2 hours and 16 minutes. And for those of us who don't enjoy arithmetic, that is 136 minutes. It's actually very long, and they take their time. It's rated PG and has a rating of 6.5 out of 10 on the IMDb, a 52% on the Rotten Tomatoes, and a 51% from Metacritic. My friend Greg and Christian, would you like to guess what percentage of Google users approve of this film? So it's a thumbs up, thumbs down rating, Greg. What percentage of Google users do you think approve of this film?
I'm going to guess, because of the internet,
Yes.
I'm going to guess it's on the lower side of the 100%, so like a 50 or lower.
Okay.
Okay.
Christian?
I can't play. I accidentally saw it. In Alan's notes that he sent us,
It's all
I
there.
saw
It's
it,
all
yeah.
there. Alan, again, another college level thesis note-taking ability. So good on you, Alan. We will not stop talking about
I
it.
really don't deserve to be on this podcast after seeing your notes, man.
No, we should be paying him, actually.
Yeah, we should
He
be.
deserves compensation.
My mom made you a burrito, so that's
Okay,
it.
yeah.
Perfect.
That covers for today. Yeah.
Yeah, good. And, we're paycheck to paycheck kind of guys.
Yeah.
Wait, we get paid?
Not you. Remember the thing you signed before you came in?
Dang.
Synopsis coming at you.
Right at you.
Obi-Wan Kenobi is a young apprentice Jedi Knight under the tutelage of Qui-Gon Jinn. Anakin Skywalker, who will later father Luke Skywalker and become known as Darth Vader,
Spoiler.
is just 9 years old. When the Trade Federation cuts off all routes to a planet Naboo, Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan are assigned to settle the matter. Directed by the man George Lucas himself, it had a budget of $115 million. Would you guys like to guess? I mean,
I
you
saw it
already saw
already.
it. Greg,
I can't
would you
guess.
like to guess how much money this movie made in its box office recoup?
Gosh, I am terrible when it comes to money numbers. I found out as an adult, I'm like somewhere on the autistic spectrum. So I'm like,
Nice.
That's why I don't understand money. Okay,
Cool.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, it made its money back. No, I'm gonna say it had crazy hype.
Yes, it did.
It had insane hype. Did you guys ever see Fanboys?
Yes.
Love
That's a
that
Kevin
movie.
Smith movie, right? Where they... Kevin Smith? No.
Not Kevin Smith, but it does feel Kevin Smith
Paul
adjacent.
Dano?
No. Sure. I guess I'm also bad with names.
Emil Hirsch?
But it does have a ton of like, oh, that guy. Oh, that girl.
Yeah. I do think
Anywho,
Kevin Smith has a cameo.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later when
Yeah,
you have me
on
on
the
for
other one.
Fanboys.
We should do Fanboys.
It's so good. Okay, I'm going to say it definitely made its budget and tripled it.
Tripled it?
Tripled it.
So 3, 4, 5?
Sure.
It actually made $474.5 million. And I would say probably in all of its re-releases and reproductions, it's probably, I would say, at least over $500 million easily. And, when Disney bought Star Wars, they got this too. And, it's on Disney Plus. So check it out. Although I want to say this, though. That Disney Plus version had a couple of scenes that I do not remember.
Did they
George put his fingers in things.
He's always putting his finger in things.
wait? So like when this was made available on Disney Plus, were things added or enhanced?
I think so.
Yes.
For sure.
I think it was.
Okay,
For
do you
sure.
know? Because I don't know. Well, I feel like
McClunky. Right, guys? McClunky?
what's McClunky?
Alan, are you familiar with McClunky?
Sounds familiar.
What is
Okay,
McClunky?
there's people are calling like Star Wars A New Hope. They call it the McClunky cut because it's almost exactly the same, except Greedo. Sorry,
Yes.
that was almost racist.
Okay,
So glad I wasn't racist.
NPR says we can call him that.
Sweet, love NPR. He says McClunky right before he gets shot. And that's like the only change anybody has noticed with it. And so I was like, it's the McClunky cut.
what? Wait,
Well, because like Han shot first in the original version.
that's the whole controversial
Yeah.
theory
Yeah.
of.
Which I never thought was like a big deal. I was just like,
It does. It changes his character completely, actually.
Also-
really? He shoots.
He shoots first because he doesn't want to waste time instead of shooting in defense.
I just feel like if Luke was in that situation, he'd be like, oh my God, what are you doing? Like he wouldn't shoot at all.
He'd be like Morty. He'd be like, oh my God, Han, what are you doing?
especially for the first movie where he's
Oh, yeah, where he's like a yappy kid.
where he's still innocent.
But we're not talking about that one. We're talking about episode 1, guys.
No. Hold on a second. No, okay.
No, fuck it. Let's talk about A New Hope.
Everybody hates that movie.
I actually don't think New Hope is one of the better ones. I think Empire Strikes Back is the best of the entire franchise.
Well, I just think that anything in the original trilogy is better than everything in this newer trilogy. Although I'm a fan of
Revenge of the Sith
Revenge
was
of the
really
Sith.
good.
And I want to watch it again now that I'm an adult.
Have you read the book version, the novelization?
You know, I've read the first couple of chapters actually, because when I was a little kid at the library, they used to have the novelization by thick motherfuckers.
Yes.
Whoa,
yes.
that's crazy.
So tangent and then another tangent, but it's related. I promise.
Yeah. It's okay.
The novelization of Revenge of the Sith is really good, and it gets into like a lot of the internal psyche of Darth Vader, or sorry, Anakin Skywalker, and his inner dragon.
At the end of Revenge of the Sith, he is Darth Vader, even before he gets the suit.
Yeah.
These are facts, literal facts. Okay. The novelization of Attack of the Clones, so much better than the movie.
Yep.
The way it was executed in the movie was so janky.
I will be on the show to defend that movie, but I will say this: the novelization, the book was better, and
Always.
Obi-Wan Kenobi had this whole like detective side plot,
Yes.
and it definitely felt more noir-esque
Hell yeah.
in the book.
Nice.
I used to have as a little boy like the Star Wars comic books, and there was one that I had that was like, I don't know, it must have been a reprint or something, but it was about New Hope, and it was one of the deleted scenes that you don't see in New Hope where Luke is in a spaceship race. He's
Oh yeah,
You
with
know what I'm talking
the
about?
Tashi Station gang,
Exactly.
Fixer and the other
And
people.
his friend that he sees later in the movie, he's like, I haven't seen you in forever. And you're like, wow, we've
Big
never seen that guy
Starklighter.
before. Yeah. So I remember when I first read that, and then I saw this movie, I was like, this is Luke's story. Like, they literally just took Luke's story and turned it into like a pod race and whatever. But you know, George Lucas wanted to make the movie he wanted to make, and here
he
it is.
wanted to have that race scene in there, and I believe it was Steven Spielberg said, it's cool, but it's a little too much like American Graffiti.
Yeah, and it means nothing. It doesn't advance the story
Which is
at
my
all,
number
and-
3 favorite movie of all time.
American Graffiti?
Yes.
Ooh, nice choice.
Let's jump into it, guys. It's Star Wars, so it opens like any good Star Wars film does.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 and then
Yo!
it's the Star Wars rap as
A
we go.
long time ago when the galaxy
far,
far, far
far
away.
The Trade Federation was setting up
Okay.
a blockade.
Honestly,
Whoa.
as a 28-year-old fully grown man, the text that was rising up was still way too complicated of jargon and way too political. How is
Yeah.
a child
Yes.
gonna watch that?
I think as a child, I just like would skim it and would be like, I know some of these words. But now as an adult, I was
Absolutely.
like actually like breaking it up, like, holy shit, Naboo is Cuba and the Trade Federation is America. That's what this all
It is
is.
extremely political.
It's so, and then like I totally forgot. Again, watching this now as an adult, like fully conscious, totally forgot the whole thing of like this movie's about politics.
Yes.
Yes.
This movie is half about politics, half about a little boy. Nothing really about Star Wars
Well,
until the very end.
If we were to break it down a little bit more, the original trilogies all start off with like action-packed scenes.
Oh, immediately into like spaceship fights.
The first scene that we see in this movie is like the viceroy talking to his homeboy, talking about like political stuff about like we're taxing all of the routes here because the Federation wants it or something like
And
that.
they're like they're also like have a legal blockade. Like there is so much lawyer jargon in the first 5
I
minutes.
have a theory. I got a theory. So, if we remember in A New Hope, it starts with
this.
the Tantive 5
Yep.
rebel blockade runner escaping from a giant ass Star Destroyer.
Because it has the plans to the Death Star.
Yes, and
All
then
over
there's
Rogue
a
One.
there's a crash land down on Tatooine.
Correct.
So, I think George Lucas, he was
Another really good impression.
I think originally he wanted to start the movie where the Nubian cruiser with Queen Amidala and the two Jedis is damaged from escaping from Naboo and has to land on Tatooine, and that's where
fun
Luke
starts.
Skywalker, Anakin is.
the kid from Jingle All the Way.
Yes, fresh from winning or failing to win a pod race. Like
Yes.
I think that's where he wanted to start it, and he was thinking of like, oh, why are the Queen and the Jedi there?
Yeah.
And so he was coming up with a backstory. He's like, man, fuck it, I'll just put that in the actual front of the movie.
I've read that there was a version of this script that focused more on Obi-Wan finding Anakin and going to Tatooine and having his moments there. And I think, if I remember correctly, one of the original drafts, Qui-Gon didn't come in until they go to the Jedi Council. So like he wasn't as big of a part until then.
Because he was huge in this movie.
Yeah, and so when Liam Neeson signed on, huge, tremendous. When Liam Neeson signed on, and they kind of rejiggered it a little bit.
What?
Rejiggered?
My friend Samuel L. Jackson is in that movie, so if you could not use that word, I would really appreciate it.
You know, a jigger. It's 1 ounce and a half ounce on the bottom. It's used for bartenders.
Oh, sorry.
I use it all the time.
Mick Jagger?
No, that's racist.
Yeah, I know British people.
It's Mick Jagger.
Everyone stop.
Okay.
I think you legally have to say thinga before you say that word.
Last note about that one draft, and then we'll talk about this draft. I believe there was the original romance was between Obi-Wan and Padme, not Anakin and Padme. So one of his original story arcs was going to be the thing. And then when Anakin falls in love with her, he takes her away from Obi-Wan, and that's like a whole different rip. I kind of like that they didn't end up going that way. Yeah. Because as bad as I feel for Obi-Wan not getting any puss, like
no, it's fine. It totally could have been a
puss.
Luke Leia Han trilogy. Love triangle.
Love triangle.
Yeah.
Love trilogy. Yeah.
Threesome.
Oh, so you think there should have been like a love triangle between Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Padme?
So, not that I'm saying it needs to be rewritten, but if I was to rewrite it, I would have made Anakin older.
Yes.
He would have been a navigator on his spice freighter. Hello? Is anybody watching the original movies?
Honestly, I don't think George Lucas did. I think when he sat down to write this, he was like, Episode 1.
What happened?
I'm going to start from the beginning.
What trilogy? No, just okay.
So he would have been like some guy that they turned to with like hey, we're trying to get away from the Trade Federation. And he's just like, look, lady, I'm just trying to get these things shipped and stuff. And it's like, we got to win this race. And he's like, well, I used to be a hot rod racer back in my day.
Okay.
In
That's
Modesto.
already so much better.
Dude, it pisses me off.
It's already so much better. George Lucas, you suck.
Anakin in this movie was that fucking kid where he was just like, you want to see all my toys? Because like my toys, I'm the only human that could do this and that. I built this. Like,
I'm going to be the first one to see them all.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting ahead of ourselves, guys.
Sorry.
He's not on Tatooine yet.
Okay.
Love this movie.
So the Trade Federation has set up a blockade over and around Naboo, and the Galactic Republic, this is, again, the boring politics part of it. The Galactic Republic sends 2 of their peacekeeping Jedis to negotiate a transfer of power back to Naboo, I think.
That's really how every scene went by when it was political. It was just like, I think that's what's going on.
yeah.
I believe that they were trying to negotiate a peaceful resolution to the blockade.
Yes. Avoid a war.
Yes, because Naboo was being starved.
Yes.
They couldn't take any imports or export any goods. So they were losing money and supplies.
Isn't Naboo a sphere? Couldn't they have just taken off on the other side of the planet where the blockade isn't?
Here's the thing.
The blockade is completely 360 degrees, covering the entire planet.
There are multiple Trade Federation ships.
Okay, but they're all like in one spot.
Well, with light speed technology,
They could get to the other side of the planet real quick.
Okay. Fair.
it's a little zip, zap, zap.
Okay, fair.
Improv, anybody? You guys done it?
Never heard
Not
of
us.
it.
Okay.
So the Jedi Knights arrive. We meet Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi, young Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I want to say real quick why I don't remember Obi-Wan being this empty of a character.
Oh, yeah. Well, Ewan McGregor said most of his acting consisted of him walking into a room and looking around.
That's what it was. Okay, so like I'm going to jump and we're going to jump back. When we first see Darth Maul fight Qui-Gon Jinn and then Qui-Gon escapes and gets back in the ship, Obi-Wan just runs in and he doesn't even look worried that his master almost died.
Qui-Gon, are you okay?
He also doesn't realize that his master is fighting a enemy from thousands of years ago.
They have not seen a red lightsaber.
Yeah.
Never.
For thousands of years.
Yes.
The Sith has been extinct for
Yes.
like a millennia.
That's like if I was driving to come pick you up and you were just like boxing with a velociraptor and you just jumped in the car and I was like, so what movie are we going to go
Are
see?
you fine? Yeah.
Not even, just don't even acknowledge it. Just
No, I mean, like if we're going by like our own years, that's like if one of us got attacked by
a Confederate
a
soldier.
Roman soldier.
Yes.
Yes.
Like thousands of years ago.
Was that a centurion that was fighting you?
Wait, what was that guy in
The
a
centurion
toga?
died out thousands of years ago.
And then we have to go to like the council of podcasters and be like,
Always
the
2 of them.
centurions are back. So they are trying to establish that peace. They end up getting caught and the droids try to kill them.
Okay, when can I start loving this movie?
I've already started.
Okay,
Because when they jump to like stowaway to get down onto Naboo, that's where the movie starts for me.
okay, the movie starts for me right when the words, the opening crawl is done, and then we get that new ship, that like sort of maroon ship. I'm like, cool. I like a maroon ship. That's really cool.
Yeah.
And they show up, and things are kind of like eerie, and I'm like, what are these giant spider ships?
Droidicas.
I knew what they were because at my friend Andrew Singleton's birthday, we all got little Lego spider ship things.
So before even seeing the movie.
The toys always spoil the movies.
Yeah.
So when I saw those, I was like, oh, it's the Lego I got. Those are going to be in the entire movie. I'm so stoked. They were in the beginning and the end.
That's it.
They sandwiched it.
That's it.
Already excited.
Yeah, they do come back a little bit. Those were my favorite character to play in Battlefront 2. If I ever had to beat on the droids back in the day.
Those were hella dope.
Yeah.
But so we're also skipping the droidicas.
The droidicas. So they get killed with gas, or supposedly killed with gas. They send some droids in to go finish the job. Of course, the Jedi hold their breath. And this is one of my favorite scenes because we get to see force powers that we don't see very often. Their super speed runaway is like a force move. Also, the way that Qui-Gon's using the lightsaber to cut open the door. He's using it as like a welding tool or something.
So when he started cutting the hole, everybody in the theater's just like, yeah, duh, we've all thought about doing that. And then when they close the super door and he just puts it right in the middle, that was like oh fuck moment.
Yeah.
That's how I met my girlfriend doing that same move.
You met her that way?
She like locked the door and you tried to cut it open and then she locked the super door. Then you took the blowtorch straight to the middle.
You had a lightsaber when you met her?
So
a lightsaber, you idiot, is a blowtorch.
Stupid.
Fuck you. So they have to stow away on one of the landing crafts, warships that the droids are sending to Naboo.
The Landecraft.
The Landingcraft.
It's not racist because it's an alien voice.
It could be racist to them.
I was watching this YouTube video where
Alienist.
they were all the reviewer was saying all the things wrong with the movie, and he was just like, it's kind of like ambiguously racist that they every
Everybody
single
who's not a
alien
human,
has like this very specific to a region on planet Earth. They have that accent because okay, is Jar Jar Binks? I know we're jumping a little bit.
No, we're right about there.
Okay, we meet Jar Jar Binks, and as a kid, I already knew that I didn't like him, but getting older,
I don't like this guy.
I was watching this again.
Trust you, Jar Jar Binks.
It's been over a decade since I've last seen this.
For sure, at least in its entirety for me.
Yeah, and so I was like, okay, I want to see if this aged well. I just want to see if society despises this movie, especially since my standards for bad movies are very low now because of this podcast. I was like, maybe I'll really enjoy Jar Jar Binks. Hated Jar Jar
I actually
Binks.
liked Jar Jar Binks a lot. I, as a kid, liked him, and then I got to the age where everybody was like, fuck Jar Jar Binks, and I was like, yeah, fuck Jar Jar Binks. And then rewatching it today, I was kind of like, I like Jar Jar.
It's kind of like when you have a friend in school and then you find out that friend is not cool, quote unquote.
Yes.
And everybody's just like, nah, Tim is a booger picking loser.
Yeah, he doesn't have Jordans, and you're just like, he doesn't.
Oh yeah,
have Jordan.
he's poor.
Those are
I
New
guess we don't like him.
Yeah, you suck. And then everyone was like, yeah, no, yeah.
And then later on, you find those friends totally abandon you because they all suck.
Yeah, and then 10 years later, you start a podcast with that kid, and now
Tim
you're
is
here doing
super cool.
Yo, I'm not Jar Jar, dude.
No, you're more of an R2D2, a mouth so foul they have to bleep everything.
No, I don't want to be R2D2. Be
Honestly-
Mace Windu. Alan, do you like Jar Jar?
I don't.
Do you
Sorry, I
like? Do you,
don't.
wait, do you like the Ewoks though? Do you like Ewoks?
I do like Ewoks.
Irrelevant.
Well, no, it is very relevant because of the original three, right? The people who grew up who saw A New Hope as kids, by the time the Ewoks came out, they didn't like the Ewoks anymore because that was supposed to be Chewbacca. That was supposed to be on Kashyyyk. That was supposed to be the battle of the Wookiees.
Okay.
And so everybody was expecting a giant Wookiee battle, and then instead we get these little tiny teddy bears speaking.
Love him. Tagalog.
Speaking Tagalog, and like my cousin Jay hates Ewoks because the whole their thing is like our generation grew up with the Ewoks. We're like, they're great. They remind me of teddy bears. And they're like, fuck the Ewoks. It should have been Wookiees. And now we get to the point where we're like, fuck Jar Jar Binks. He shouldn't have been in the film. It's very relevant.
By the way, can I name drop real quick?
Go
Please.
ahead.
So I went to not actually a person, but a place. I went to the Redwoods where they filmed Return of the Jedi.
Oh, very nice.
The speeder bike scenes and got to walk under the trees where they zoomed around and stuff. Super freaking cool. Hard to get to.
Whoa, that's really cool.
We once went to George Lucas's private screening room in Marin to watch the
Oh!
premiere of a movie, and that was crazy
where
cool.
that was?
Yes, it was.
In San Rafael.
Yeah, they had the Star Wars posters, Indiana Jones posters.
Screw what
It
I was
awesome.
saying. It's not as good as that.
Oh,
Well,
did it.
Alan has like an in because Alan's brother, John Boo, who is a sound engineer and has done our sound when we started this
I
podcast.
only care about BJ.
don't we all? Don't we all?
Sorry, John.
But on multiple occasions, you guys have had the in to go to Skywalker Ranch.
Yeah.
And like
insane,
watch movies there.
Yeah.
That's
And I
awesome.
probably only watched, I watched Solo. Like, that was the only thing I watched there. But other than that, I watched, like, Marvel movies there. I watched Endgame there. It's
You are
freaking
so
crazy.
humble. Oh my god!
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
thanks, man.
Like I would have come into the room and been like, "By the way, I've been to Skywalker Ranch. Hi, my name is."
Before introducing yourself, hi, been to Skywalker Ranch.
My name's Greg.
I'm better than you. I'm better than you, and I'm definitely better than you.
You like, and then you meet George Lucas. You're like, I'm actually not better than you.
I praise you. I'm so upset that because
So why do you hate Jar Jar so much, though?
no, it's.
You don't like the camp? It's 99. There has to be camp.
I understand the context of it. I think I'm also upset at how it's too much of a comic relief. Like I couldn't take him too seriously.
Can we
That's
talk
true.
about the origins of Jar Jar?
I would love to.
Okay,
yeah.
so Jar Jar played by
Ahmad.
quick.
I'm coming.
Alan,
It's
Alan.
coming. It's coming.
Okay, so that guy,
Yeah.
totally awesome. Every interview I've ever listened to of him, he seems like a totally awesome dude. He was in Stomp.
Nice.
So before he had the part, Michael Jackson
Wanted it super bad. Ahmad
not just
Best.
not
Ahmad
just
Best.
wanted it. Ahmed Best.
Ahmed Best.
Yes. He not just wanted it, he told George, like, I'm going to play this Jar Jar character. And he was thinking, like, it's going to be like The Wiz.
Wait, this is Michael Jackson saying.
Real
This
Michael
is
Jackson.
Michael
Yeah.
Jackson.
Yep.
Wow.
Like,
The
he,
Michael
he just he dibsed the part.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a be Jar Jar. And George was like, well, I'm actually thinking about maybe hiring a different person and stuff like that from Stomp. And Michael's like, I have to approve of this.
Yeah.
Michael had to approve Ahmed. And so, and Ahmed, he was performing. He knew George Lucas was out there. And I think he also knew that Michael Jackson was out there. And so he stomped really extra hard in that stomp performance and then got to like meet Michael Jackson backstage. And Michael
Crash
Jackson,
those trash cans
Michael
together.
Jackson gave him the
Blessing
role.
and rule. Yes.
You can play Jar Jar.
And so I think George, who was not as concerned about acting, we can maybe say.
Well, I think George always knew that character was going to be done completely CGI'd. And so his main focus was trying to do that. I think it didn't really matter what the actor was doing because he was going to do his thing anyways. And for me, not to cut you off, but that's why I like Jar Jar Binks from like a cinematic point of view. It's the first time we've ever had a fully CGI character throughout the entire film who swims, jumps, runs, laughs, cries, does all the shit.
It was an incredible leap in cinema history.
Yes,
1999. This
Also,
is-
did you see like the tree shadows over him look amazing?
I will say
The whole scene in the trees when they're planning the battle.
Yeah.
I was trying my best
Yummy. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine.
No, I'll leave.
I was just get the fuck out
This
of
is
here.
good. This is
Alan,
fun.
come on.
Check me out on Twitter.
I was trying my best to like just to not be critical. And I will say that he looked way better in Tatooine lighting than he did in
Tatooinic.
in Tatooine. I'm so sorry. Oh gosh.
I'm just making this up.
Yeah,
I
was gonna say,
believe it, though.
Tatooinic. I was like, what are you talking about?
But
They
yeah,
took a Nubian starfighter to the Tatooinic
Tatooine.
dunes.
he looked better in that like desert lighting as opposed to like his main territory.
Which must have been so uncomfortable for Jar Jar, being a water dweller. Standing in the desert must have been excruciating pain.
But he
Well,
looked
if
like
we
he
can
was
remember,
fine.
he does say, Misa's skin is killing me, or something.
Oh, attention to detail.
And then Anakin's always cold. As soon as he leaves the desert planet, he's always cold, which I wish that carried through in the other movies.
so
That
there's
would
some
have been a cool thing.
tiny nitbits that I do appreciate. Like there are some moments where they did pay some attention to detail.
Shall we continue?
Sure.
So he meets Jar Jar Binks. Actually, he saves his life, not once, but twice. Qui-Gon, that is.
again.
That's a good impression.
And he has a life debt now to Qui-Gon Jinn. And Qui-Gon says that's not necessary. But he does know that they need to get to the humans who are on the other side.
Demanded
of-
by the gods it is.
Yes, the gods, the Gungan gods. And Jar Jar says, hey, come down to Gungan City. It's a hidden city, which is actually only hidden by one rock.
I don't know if it's actually Gungan gods, but we can get into that later.
Oh.
What are they, like Jedi gods?
Oh, okay, if we, I mean, like, let's do this.
Yeah, let's do
All right,
this.
so if you look at Boss Nass, he doesn't look like the rest of the Gungans.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, maybe he's just a fat Gungan and he's wearing this hat that's covering his big ass ears, but I don't know.
No, I mean, like, look at the eye stalks, that the Gungans have, and look at Boss Nass.
It's a face.
Sockets.
Yeah.
So what's the reasoning behind that?
The Gungans all have like these like sort of like eyes that are on little things
Yeah,
above their heads.
you're right.
Whereas Boss
Yeah.
Nass's are
Has like a
embedded
face. He has
into his
sockets.
face.
So is he the god then?
So why do the Gungans have an army?
The greatest army? Oh, because from what I understood this watch, it's because they're afraid that the humans on the other side of Naboo are going to try and come and take their city.
But it seems like it's like a tradition that's not new. And I'm wondering, like, was there another like
Underwater
group
village?
of sea dwellers like Boss Nass? Maybe Boss Nass like betrayed his people and ruled the Gungans.
Interesting. He definitely has a lot of power because when the Jedis come to meet him, he's upset that land dwellers are there, right? So he has made it such a fortress of solitude that, we don't even want to deal with what's going on above the sea level. In fact, that's where Jar Jar's exiled, right? He's in exile when we first meet him.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember like the secret place they go to at the end? Where it's just like there's a secret hidden place.
Oh,
like,
the sacred place when they're under attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not underwater, it's just in the forest.
with a big statue
Was it like was that
of
Siddhartha?
a human head.
Yes.
Well, okay, break it down.
It's a straight up
It
Buddha.
looked like Siddhartha, yeah.
Yeah, it's straight up Siddhartha.
I'm thinking that maybe they thought the gods were the surface dwellers who would come down into the water and be like, what is this stuff? This is crazy. And they're like, whoa, you guys have crazy technology and stuff. You're gods.
Whoa.
So maybe they're not Gungan
Is
gods.
this why Boss Nass, later on, when Boss Nass meets Queen Amygdala,
Abdullah
Thank you.
Amagata,
Queen Abdul,
Queen Paula Abdul.
Queen Paula Abdul, when he says, oh, you don't think that you're better than us? We can be friends.
We so like this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that because, like, oh, this is changing everything in his mind that, like, oh, we've always seen surface dwellers, aka humans, as gods?
Yes.
Wow. Well
Depth.
done. Well done.
Wow. You
Well
are
done.
doing a great job of what this podcast is supposed to be, defending it for what
I don't think
is.
it can be that bad.
It's actually not. I really like this movie.
There are great aspects of this movie. Like every single time the lightsabers come out, I'm so happy. Even
My
though like some of
lightsaber
the
comes out.
Well, this is the first time they ever had the technology to show it come out, right? In all the original trilogy, it always cuts away, and then they and then they come back, and the lightsabers on.
they show it come out, and then they cut away, and then they can fight.
Yeah, because the technology wasn't there at the time to like really make it work. Only in the reprints do we really see Obi-Wan like zzz. In the original cut, it like shows Darth Vader, then it comes back and Obi-Wan's got his lightsaber out, and then Darth Vader's got his, because they had no way of animating that. So this is the first time we get to see it, and they show it to us like a dozen times. They're just like, look at this new technology.
I'm not even mad at how slow they were swinging their lightsabers to bring down some of the droids. It'd just be like,
To kill a droid is no problem at all.
Obi-Wan would do a full 360 turn that gains him no speed with the swing.
It slows him down.
Here's the thing. No. Here's the thing. When you're tapping saber to saber, it's finesse. That's a finesse game. But when you're cutting through metal, quick ain't gonna do it. You gotta have power.
You gotta let the heat do its job.
It's a strength thing to bring that through. Yeah. So that's why you gotta slow down.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I like it. I like also, to keep this moving along, the fish scene when they're swimming through the core of Naboo, which I guess we're...
The planet core.
yeah, so they do swim through the core, right? Instead of just like going around.
They don't. No. They don't. I don't think they actually go through the core of the planet because that would be so hot.
Yeah,
right?
they would,
I don't know, maybe the planet's a water planet.
Oh yeah, this is not Earth, so
That's
we don't.
true.
We
Yeah,
can't
that's
assume
true.
that there's magma and like you go through all these layers that the Earth's crust has.
Christian, please. It's not Earth. It's not hollow on the inside.
Stop! I'm so mad at you. to continue on with the
I don't know. Boss Nass does kind of look like a lizard dude.
oh, stop!
Shut off. We're on to the Hollow Earth
It's
now.
a different episode.
There's always a bigger fish, which I think is something I think about all the time.
Okay. What were your guys' opinions on those deep dwelling fish?
They could have cut that whole scene out.
Yo,
it
check
shouldn't
this
have been
out.
There, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
it
so
felt,
sorry.
it felt out of place.
Yeah, it did.
Okay, so yes, but The second fish. So there's the first big fish, the goober fish.
Yeah.
And then it gets eaten by Godzilla.
Yep.
And then there's the next fish, the third fish, and it's the sort of like eel with like the flowing
With
tail
arms.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
If you pay attention and the lighting is good in your room when you watch it, you can see that there's little eels all over the place. And when they turn the lights on, that's the mom. And she's like, "What the hell are you doing in my house?" And so she's not just like trying to eat this, like submarine. She's trying to defend her babies.
You telling me that there's conflict and resolution in that?
The resolution is
Underwater.
Godzilla eats the mom, and then the babies probably die of starvation.
Hey, man.
Well, you know what? Hey, sucks to suck is what I say.
Boy, does it.
How was this like received at first, with everyone having this expectation of like, oh my god, in the 70s, the Star Wars was the best trilogy ever.
I believe it was almost exactly how our generation acted when the new trilogy came out. How much shit they talked and how they said it wasn't
see.
good.
I see.
If I remember correctly, the way my cousins treated these three movies is almost exactly. It's just we just keep doing it over and over again to the next generation.
So I can remember as let's see, 1999. That was 5th grade and 6th grade. So that was like the cusp of like childhood to becoming like a quote unquote teen, like a tween thing. Anyways, I'll try to keep it quick. Got the novelization before it came out to theaters
For episode 1?
For episode 1,
Yeah.
And this was like the last time I remember my mom reading a story to me and my little brother. And so it was just kind of like, oh, Star Wars, this is great and stuff. Then going on like a vacation with my buddy Aaron Eccles, shout out. I don't know where you are, what you're doing, but I hope you're well. We saw it and it was amazing. Everybody in the theater loved it. Everybody talked about it like it was great. Like Star Wars is back. That's awesome. And it wasn't until like a couple years later that people started hating on it.
For sure.
And I don't think it was like nowadays when like a trailer comes out and people go like, nah, fuck this, this is
That's
stupid.
true. The internet era of instant hate wasn't quite at its zenith in 99.
You couldn't be as quick because it was dial up. Okay, sorry.
Physically. So they get to Naboo. They get to the other side where they find the droids have taken over the city, correct? They've taken the queen hostage and...
Theed. They've taken over Theed. The city of Theed.
That's right. That city looks a lot like the Palisade over in San Francisco.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
I
the
could see
art-
that.
the
yeah.
art area.
The World War I memorial. You know what I'm talking about?
I think I do.
It starts with a P. Robin Williams used to live out there. Happy birthday, Robin Williams. A couple days ago. You would have been 70.
RB?
So they get there, and as that's happening, the Trade Federation is getting a hologram from Darth Sidious.
Yes.
Whoa, spoiler.
From a figure in a dark robe.
Some sort of menace that they can't
Like he's
put
like
their
the
finger on.
Phantom-
It's like a
Phantom
phantom menace.
You know
Like
what it is?
ghost.
It's like the Fantasmic show in Disney. You know how it's like water shined on the
Yeah,
thing?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's where they get it from. The Fantasmic
That's what
menace.
it is.
Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So they have to go save. Of course, the Jedis are there to protect the queen, and it's again a lot of political mumbo jumbo. But apparently, what they decide is the best course of action is to get the queen onto the Federation ship to negotiate. But then they get attacked.
No, they're not trying to land on that Federation. They're trying to bug out.
They're just trying to leave
They're just trying to
because
get
the city's
out.
already taken over, and the governor stays. But they got to get the queen out because she's the most important. Because if we take her to Coruscant,
She's got pull in the Senate.
Yep, she can get the Senate to come and send help.
Yeah.
So that's the plan. And they hop in the groovy ass spaceship,
Nothing says help my people more than the actual leader of those people.
leaving.
Well, no. Coming to the Senate
Yes,
and
yes, yes,
saying,
yes.
my people are dying.
And that's not at all her being scared to save her own tail, running away from a losing war at all.
Well,
Right, guys?
Keira Knightley was just going with the flow. She couldn't check in with Natalie Portman and be like, should we do this?
For at least half the movie, she was making queen decisions, and she's just a
Dude,
handmaid.
it's crazy. And like,
I think there's protocols.
There has to be.
I was so. Because I knew Keira Knightley was in this movie, and I like I said, I haven't
Not
seen
one
this
of
in
the
like
top
over
build.
10 years. Where she was built pretty high because she wasn't nearly famous.
She hadn't done King Arthur yet.
Yeah,
I don't think.
and the resemblance is just so uncanny that like I didn't
yeah.
know when the queen was Kira or when the queen was Padme, right?
Her own mother couldn't tell the difference when they were in the queen costume.
It's wild. And I've always known, even before knowing that Keira Knightley was in this movie, I've always thought to myself, oh my gosh, Keira Knightley looks very much like Natalie Portman.
Mm-hmm.
And I blew my mind when we find out later on, like, no, this is just a decoy. This is like my very loyal assistant, blah, blah, blah.
Which which I just want to say very quickly, everybody's like, okay, cool, let's listen to her now. Like nobody questioned it at all. Nobody was like, how should we test this? How do we know what's good? They're all just like, okay, you're queen now.
Yeah. There's a scene they cut where everybody looks at Captain Panaka and he goes, yeah, it's true.
He's like,
Yeah, no.
what am I gonna say?
Keira Knightley just stay in that makeup like, okay, I guess everyone knows that I'm not the queen. Do I just stay in
Can
this?
I take this off?
Please, it's hot.
This is bird poop.
I am all caked up because we don't have natural foundation in this galaxy.
No. I'm a true geisha wearing Mongolian headpieces.
I literally just look up and just wait for the poo.
She must have some severe
Just realized
neck
what you were
problems.
I fucking hate you. I'm never going to be able to look at her again now without thinking it's bird shit. So their ship is damaged. There's no way they're going to make it to Coruscant, so they have to stop off on a desert planet.
Here's Sir Tatooine.
So
He
they
says it
stop-
so casually.
They stop at Tatooine. It's like the first name drop that like really hints to like what was in the original trilogy.
I think George wanted to keep it subtle, not like, have like, Obi-Wan look at the, go, oh, Tatooine, look at the camera.
look at the camera and be like, I wonder if there's a cave for sale.
You remember?
Wink. So they land on Tatooine and they're searching for parts. They have to hide the queen because this planet is run by gangsters known as the Hutt clan. That's Jabba the Hutt's father at the time.
It's so wild.
I don't think it is Jabba.
No, Jabba's the young one.
I thought that was a woman. She's prestigious.
Jabba has.
There was two. There was two
There's
that
the
we
big
see,
one and
right?
little one.
Go back and watch it.
I'm pretty sure it's Jabba.
I'm pretty sure the little one's Jabba.
Wait, who's the one leading the races? Or
I'm pretty sure that
that's
was
Jabba, right?
Jabba
The one leading the
races.
isn't that Jabba the Hutt's dad?
No,
No, I think that's Jabba.
I think that was. I had to look up like what Star Wars movies is Jabba in.
I think you might be
and
loud
it showed
wrong.
that picture.
But that's okay.
I mean, ever since I was a kid, I always just assumed that was Jabba the Hutt's dad, and the little one in the background was Jabba, like, grow like, oh, I'm going, like, if his dad was Tony Soprano, and he's Kid Soprano, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, if
Kid
we're
Soprano is my band name, by the way.
Child Sopranos. You guys are a
Also,
quartet
I
of Sopranos.
don't want to mess with your headcanon because that is pretty fun.
Okay, but you guys are probably right. I mean, I literally have no proof. I just thought that, and as a child, the fact hearing it now that probably is wrong makes more sense than what I was thinking.
All right, let's talk about it. If how long does it take for a hut to really grow in size?
Gestate.
Well, this movie takes place 34 years before the Battle of Yavin. So,
Yavin.
excuse me. And so potentially he could grow that fast in that time. I mean, he has all the money and all the wealth.
Yeah, we don't know.
I know, Alan, you watched Clone Wars.
Yes.
Do you remember Stinky
Yes.
from the movie?
Yeah.
Do we ever see him grow up?
Do we?
I don't think we do. I think
think
they
we
I think
do.
they
Yeah,
age
yeah.
very slowly.
Yeah.
I imagine like that species has a long lifespan.
And they do
for
talk to
sure.
Jabba in Clone
In
Wars.
Clone Wars, he is in the series. For
Yeah.
Sure.
Crazy. I just love that there is like an expanded family of the Hutts because watching
yeah.
the original trilogy as a kid, I just thought there was just like Jabba the Hutt and that's it. But the Hutts is known to be, they're a gangster
They're an
family.
intergalactic crime
I
family.
love it.
They're very good at their intergalactic crime.
Slime.
That's why Han Solo worked for him for so many years.
But okay, so we were talking about the pod race prior, and just being entertained, I thought that was like such a, I loved it.
Yeah.
The whole pod race, is a really cool scene that just shows us a lot about Anakin and like who he is as a kid and why Qui-Gon sushi. Why Qui-Gon? No, it's still around. Both of them are
I'm
still
thinking
here.
Matsuri.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Qui-Gon and Vallejo and Benicio are still around. No, Qui-Gon, is very passionate about Anakin. He sees there's a lot of potential in this kid immediately, and this is the proof to everybody else. The pod race is the proof for everybody else to see, he does have a higher calling. In my opinion, that's how I saw the
Because
pod race.
after he wins it, he goes, see?
Yeah.
See?
Because he had never finished before.
Look, I did it.
Yeah.
Dude, these racers are dying.
This is a brutal race.
No one gives a shit.
Guys, there's a deleted scene. I just stabbed my hand with a pencil. I forgot I had it on my ear. There's
Pencil you haven't used at all today.
No, I did.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
no,
Oh,
I
yeah,
tickled the field notes. No, there was a scene that got deleted, and it's when they're doing like the introductions. There's one of the racers. He's the guy who like goes "Wah," and crashes into the
Stalagmite.
tights because they have to hold on tight.
Yep.
So he's that guy. So at the beginning of the race, he like waves to some people in the crowd, and it's his wife and kids.
Oh, no.
After the race, when Qui-Gon is talking to Watto, you see you see 2 little creatures and a mother behind them crying, like holding her face and crying.
They should have left that in. I mean, it's a little dark, but
Star Wars gets real.
If they're going to put E.T. in the Senate Council meeting, they could have kept that scene in there.
And if you go back and watch it again, when they first walk into Mos Espa with like a Jar Jar going like, "This is murder in my skin," and he steps in the poodoo.
Yeah.
There is that same family, and it looks like the driver guy is sort of like showing them around Mos Espa.
Because he lives there and they're coming to visit
He's like,
him.
guys, thank you for coming to check me out.
That is like a cartoon B story that like happens in the background as it like goes on, and you're just like, look at this cool thing. I wish they would have kept it.
I love it.
I want to say when they go to the city in it's not Mos Eisley, is it? No, it's
Mos Espa.
Mos Espa. I like that at this time, half of all the aliens that walk around are just people in spacesuits or like just somebody wearing a scuba mask. Like,
That's it.
I love the idea of just like, yeah, we also have crazy looking aliens, but there's also people in suits too. And it's just like,
Crazy looking humans.
Really?
Yeah,
Normal humans.
I'm all about the Star Wars side stories. I've even been working on a little comic book. of
Holy,
little
that-
Star Wars side stories
Whoa.
and stuff.
You drew that?
Yeah.
that's
That
awesome.
looks like it was printed.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you.
That's
guys.
incredible. Show the camera real quick. You could bring it up to your level because it's going to be
If
out of
it's-
focus if you
oh,
push it close.
Okay. You're gonna have to zoom in.
Beautiful. What the heck?
Yeah. Thank you. Just doing a little bit.
So
That is so dope.
once they get free from the pod race, Qui-Gon had made a deal with Watto to free Anakin, and he's going to take him under his wing and teach him to be a Jedi. So they are headed back to Coruscant.
Think you are
Anakin,
Jedi.
yeah, the Jedi took the work for me. My
Dude, they're
brain too
blowing
small.
up. They're blowing up Anakin's ego. This kid's already cocky. They're just like, the Force is strong in you.
They're just like, you literally have the highest count of midichlorians ever. And
Guys,
he's like,
I made the fastest pod. Also, I'm really good at pod racing.
You want to see this? And grabs Padme's hand.
yeah.
Like,
Check out C-3PO. I never got to finish him because I got bored with
he
doing
does the
something else.
first POV shot in the entire franchise.
Yeah, it's C-3PO.
oh, that's right. Dude, and Anakin doesn't give a shit that he's leaving him behind.
Sorry, dude. Sorry I didn't put
Sorry.
any plates on you.
I'll make sure Mom doesn't sell you. I'll see you later, man.
Knowing that his mom is hurting for money, she should definitely sell him.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
100%.
I'm sorry,
The,
C-3PO.
the last thing he said is like, hey, he's a human cyborg relations who knows over 5,000 languages. You should sell him on to the Hut Clan and make $1,000.
I will say, though,
Credits.
credits. Anakin's okay. I was convinced by his acting finally when he was saying bye to his mom.
Yes, very
Yeah.
touching
Very
moment.
good.
Yes, I
Really good
agree.
moment.
On the
Really good
rewatch,
moment.
I was like, fuck, this hits.
That kid is good acting with people who are supposedly his mother. He did the same with Tom Hanks' wife in Jingle All the Way. Very good mother-son connection.
Yeah.
Until his real mother, he like tried to kill with a knife or something like that.
It's so depressing.
Apparently, he got like shit his entire life after that movie.
It's not his fault.
Brutal. No, I mean honestly, he's a good actor. I wonder if he would have like grown into being a good actor if his kids weren't so fucking mean.
Well, if George Lucas was just a better director too.
it's
I
hard
feel
to
like-
direct children.
I feel like he's a good
Hold on a
director, man.
second.
You
Like,
think
he
so?
has a good imagination.
He's a good
vision.
writer. I think
I don't agree with writer.
I think he's a.
I think the opposite.
Okay, here's before we get too off topic.
No,
Fight,
me. No,
fight,
no,
fight.
I just think because like look, the best Star Wars movie in my opinion is Empire Strikes Back, and that's directed by Irving
Kushner.
Kylie
Kushner.
Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving, and that movie is written by George Lucas, directed by another person. I think it's done really well. But tit for tat, what do you got?
Well, maybe this
You know,
might
fair
support
enough.
you. This
You
might
know,
support
you
you.
know, I'm thinking about it. I was like, you know what? George is a good writer.
He's a
But he's
better
bad
writer
director.
than
You know, I got it flipped. My bad.
yeah, he's a
take it
better
back. I
writer
take
than
it
a
back.
director.
I gotta say, it's not always about directing the people. It's directing the whole
Saga.
situation.
Yeah.
And so he was he's very hands-on and wanted to have input on every level of
Everything.
the movie.
Yeah, he was very involved. I think that's why a producer role for him is a better role. As opposed to being so pigeonholed into being a director, he really is the executive producer. He has his finger
see that.
in every single pie. We already kind of talked about their escape from Tatooine when Qui-Gon has this fight with Darth Maul and Obi-Wan gives no fucks.
That was crazy.
They finally get on the ship.
Are you okay?
Is he John Lennon?
Did you see how
Bob Dylan?
long his lightsaber handle was?
The lightsabers were red. The Sith is here.
Never even seen one that red.
I would love a Bob Dylan Star Wars album. He's over here making songs about JFK. I want him to make Star Wars songs.
A Star Wars musical.
Oh my god. Through
Written
Bob
and
Dylan.
directed by Bob Dylan.
Oh my god, have you
All
guys never
songs
heard
are
of
Bob
the
Dylan.
Rebel Force Band?
No.
What?
Dude, so in the 70s, super quick, This guy, he was like, I'm gonna ask a bunch of like college students to like write Star Wars songs after the first movie came out. No other canon, just the first movie. And these people wrote like genuine Star Wars songs, not like trying to be funny or anything, just super genuine. And it's and it's performed by this 70s ass band.
Wow.
They're so good.
Really?
They're so good. Look them up.
That is such a specific reference to all of this, and I love you for that. Oh, okay. What are they called?
Hot
again?
Tracks, the Rebel Force Band.
Rebel Force.
Rebel Force Band. We'll put their thing right here.
Well, their Instagram handle, if they still exist.
If you come across some sort of redneck country thing, you've gone too far. Not that Rebel Force.
Okay.
Oh, those are the Confederate songs.
I think they're great. Stand by, hold fast.
It's good people on both sides.
Tokyo Drift.
Tokyo. I know we're already here. I wish Donald Trump ended every monologue with Tokyo Drift and then just walked away.
Rogue One, the Tokyo Drift of Star Wars. Am I right, guys?
Am I right, guys? Am I right?
Yeah.
So they get to Coruscant, and immediately Anakin is forced to do like tests for the Jedi.
Coruscant? Sorry.
Coruscant? Yeah. Oh, this was one of the scenes that I think they added for Disney Plus when Padme and the Queen, all of them are going to do Senate stuff, and the Jedis are going to the Jedi Temple, and Anakin like looks back at Qui-Gon. I remember him telling like, no, go with him. But then there's like a whole short 2-second scene where Jar Jar Binks like, she's so really pretty, and it's just like I don't remember this part at all.
You think they
The awkward scene where he's like, Qui-Gon, do I go with you? Like that was
for sure.
That's OG.
But Jar Jar in the car talking about how pretty Padme is, I don't remember that. That's literally the first time I'd ever seen
I
it.
agree with you. I think that's some McClunky stuff.
Yeah, that's for sure McClunky. It's clunky for sure. Fun fact about Mace Windu that I love. It's actually one of my favorite facts about Mace Windu. Much like how Michael Jackson lobbied for the role of Jar Jar Binks, Tupac Shakur lobbied very hard to be in the new Star Wars
He
movie.
would still be alive.
In fact, if he hadn't have died, and I think he probably would have been playing the Mace Windu character. At the time when the story was written, Mace Windu wasn't written as a black man yet, but I have a feeling that it was going to go that way. But I do love Samuel L. Jackson.
That's just the way it is.
Love to see a Tupac Shakur Jedi though.
Would love.
That would be the coolest fucking thing ever.
What color would his lightsaber be?
Purple.
Okay. Oh, as Mace Windu still, right?
Yeah,
That's what
for
you're
sure,
saying?
for sure.
Although Samuel L. Jackson did lobby for a purple
purple
lightsaber.
Yeah, specifically. And so like they were
Pac
George
would've-
Lucas was like, okay, I guess we could like write in that you were able to get this like rare crystal that makes your lightsaber.
Pac would have been like, can I have a purple bandana?
Have you seen? They have footage of when Samuel L. Jackson asks for a purple lightsaber.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
because he's talking.
what about purple?
He's like, what other colors do they have? He's like, oh, good guys are green and blue, bad guys are red. And he's like, that's it? And he's like, yeah. He's like, what about like purple? Could I have a purple lightsaber? And George Lucas is like, you could have a purple
Yeah,
lightsaber.
we'll write that in.
And the whole reason why Samuel L. Jackson wanted that was because he knew in Clone Wars there was going to be a big Jedi fight, and he wanted to make sure that he
Attack of the
stood
Clone.
out.
Sorry.
Attack of the Clones. Excuse me. He wanted to make sure that he stood out, and so that he could see himself. That's why he wanted the purple lightsaber. And then they retrofitted it in the books to be he actually knows both sides of the Force.
That's what it was.
Sith
I
and
remember.
good. That's why he gets both.
He was my favorite character to play as in Jedi Power Battles, the Episode 1 game that
Yes.
came out on PlayStation.
Yes. Wait, but with that, did he still have a blue lightsaber in
I
that
think
one?
he had a purple
because I
one.
have that on PlayStation 1, and I bought that from like Game Crazy.
Pause the recording. Let's go plug it in.
plug it real
Let's
quick.
check it real quick.
But yeah, I was pissed because I was like, he doesn't have a purple lightsaber because he probably did not have that
Yeah,
conversation.
the
yet.
video game was for sure made before the movie was.
Just like toys, yeah, they try to push
yeah.
out the merchandise first.
I do like though how Samuel L. Jackson, Mace Windu is the de facto leader of the Jedis though.
Is he?
I mean, he's the one giving
He's
Anakin
the best
test.
fighter. He's the best fighter.
He is for
I
sure
feel.
the
That's
best
what
fighter.
I
But like
think
at
he's
the
the best
council,
leader.
he does kind of take point.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does, right?
He's the guy testing
He
Anakin.
doesn't have the biggest
Ki-Adi
chair.
Mundi, hold on a second.
Oh, Candy Mundi. The cone head.
Plo Koon.
Plo Koon.
Hang tight. Yeah, hold on. I got this.
Girl Yoda, I believe her name's Yodel.
Oh, Yodel. Yeah.
That's a real deep cut.
That's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
deep
Yodel
cut,
is
man.
her name?
Yodel.
So there's
Yodel.
3 of this species that we know of. There's Yoda, Yaddle, and Grogu.
Whoa.
There you go. One for
Love
each generation.
It. And Anakin has more, what's it called? Midi-chlorians than...
Midi-chlorians and even Yoda.
More than Yoda.
Wow, even more than Yoda.
That being said, though, the Jedi Council does not believe Anakin should be trained. Because he is too old, the training to be a Jedi should start pretty much at birth, apparently. So he is too old, even though he is like 8 years old.
Yoda is able to has this premonition like, oh, he has a cloudy future in front of him. So like because he kind of sensed that like this guy could really fuck shit up.
I think it's technically a lack of a premonition because remember he says the future's clouded. So normally he should be able to see somebody's future and how they're going to go.
Skywalker will bring balance to the Force.
But not the way you think.
Is it this one or is it your mom?
He always does bring balance because he does kill the Sith. He throws the Sith down an elevator shaft in episodes.
He does.
Oh, dude, I wish we were talking about episode 3 or 2. No, I would say 3 because I've really just a quick shout out to when Anakin does fuck up the council.
Duh! When he kills all the kids. We'll get there. We are gonna do that movie because it is rated perfectly for us to do. So Qui-Gon is told that he cannot train Anakin, and Anakin. And then Qui-Gon pretty much says, "Fuck you! I'm gonna do it myself." Which they hint to, and I think they explain a little bit more in like the books and stuff, but Qui-Gon almost always goes against the Jedi Council's rules. He was like one of the biggest rebel Jedis.
He's the Jedi bad boy.
He's a bit of a rogue.
Yeah, he learned so much.
He likes to do things solo.
He's a scoundrel. So he says, I'll train the boy on my own. And they're like, but you already have a Padawan. And he's like, Obi-Wan's good to go.
It's true. I am ready.
I'm ready. And then later on says like, Qui-Gon, I don't know if I'm ready for the trial. I'm flattered that you think I'm ready for the trials.
Spot on Alec Guinness impressions, though, just so you know.
You're right. He is a little more New York than the way I've been doing him.
How you doing? Okay, so...
What people don't know is Obi-Wan's from the Bronx, but grew up in Queens.
Force, Luke.
Hey, what's going on over here? Yeah, okay, stop. So, you're right. Obi-Wan doesn't know if he's
with
ready.
a smoke show.
Who did this to you? Who? I don't know what that was.
I don't know. You're a goon. You're a goon from some Batman movie, dude.
Who you talking to? What you talking about with us?
You're that guy?
I'm Gary Coleman now. Gary Coleman would have been a great Mace Windu.
Mace Windu's origin story?
He was a poor kid that got adopted by a rich white family.
Dude, how have Gary Coleman and Samuel L. Jackson not done a black iteration of twins?
Have you not?
Gary Coleman's dead.
I was going to say, you've never seen them in the same room.
I would love to.
Are you saying this is like an Andy Kaufman?
Andy Kaufman?
What was? wait. What was Andy Kaufman's fake alter? We're getting distracted.
Wait, no, real quick. Let's stay on this distraction. Are you telling me that Samuel L. Jackson, when he's at home alone, he removes a mask, gets 3 feet shorter,
takes the stilts off, takes the stilts off his feet.
Have you ever noticed you've never seen Gary Coleman from behind because Samuel L. Jackson's on his knees?
Oh! That was very special.
On the set of whatever his show was, he's always cheating out, so you never see the back of his...
What was the name of his show? Man.
What you talking about? Willis, right?
No, that's just his catchphrase. He almost gets raped in one episode, literally. Yeah, it was intense. They held
Dude,
no
it sucks
bars in
too
the
because
70s.
the actor who took that on, he took it on purpose because he wanted to bring attention to child rape, like, and how it was a problem. And then after that, he never got work again because everyone's like, you're the child rapist.
And also, his parents took all of his money.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Damn. But
Not that same actor, but I mean.
Star Wars Episode 1.
Yes.
This is a good dismount from that distraction, okay?
It's all about dismounts.
I just talked about child rape.
Honestly, comes up quite often in our podcast. So Qui-Gon is going to take Anakin, but before he does that, they have a duty to protect the Queen. After she sets up a vote of no trust in the current Chancellor.
No confidence.
No confidence, excuse me. They decide to hold a big election. They're going to take even more time to get a new
I think it's because that
counselor.
senator, he was doing a Jedi mind trick on the Queen.
He wasn't just doing a Jedi mind trick on the Queen. I think pretty much everybody there, he was doing it because the bureaucrats that he was just complaining about come back and revenge the Sith and whisper in his ear quite a much.
Comes back
Because remember, he even
around.
says, I promise to earn the corruption
Now the
in this
bureaucrats
position.
insert themselves.
But they do not. So Queen is pissed that it's going to take too much longer. But here's my question. At this time, correct me if I'm wrong, the Republic does not have a standing army. Right?
No, there is not an army of the Republic.
So what is she asking the Republic to do?
She would like some sort of intervention.
She wants them to stop the Trade Federation.
Yes.
Okay.
Probably through sanctions.
Again, political mumbo jumbo.
That's why, I don't know.
But that's how you deal with things.
Yep. And so it's not fast enough for her. So she's going home. She's going to handle it herself. Guys, we're
Well,
going to
actually,
go
what they want to do is they want to send a committee to check the validity.
of the Trade Federation's blockade and invasion.
Yeah.
Because there are Trade Federation people in the Senate who are just playing the part and being like, we're not doing it. Who says? They do the O.J. Simpson thing of being like, prove it.
Dude, it's a true
Those
reflection.
punk asses from Malastare back them up because they're in their pocket.
And E.T. is there.
That's in the next one.
Legitimately?
No, it's in this one.
Isn't this one?
Yep.
I thought it was in the next one.
No, I watched him.
Why my voice is so high though? You think I believe it?
I love that as an Easter egg. I got to look back at where that was.
You can look back at it.
Elliot, I'm in the Senate.
So once they decide to head back to Naboo, did they already have the plan to meet up with the Gungans when they left for Naboo?
So when they were on the Nubian cruiser, which by the way, Nubian ships are dope, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like the silver.
George wanted to kick it back to his original inspirations with like the old Buck Rogers and old black and white serials, and they had a lot of sleek rocket ships in there. So that's where like the Nubian design came in.
And I believe Phantom Menace is the name of the main bad guy from Flash Gordon.
The more you know.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
Like throw some stars.
Cool.
So
more editing for you.
while
sir.
they're on the cruiser, and Qui-Gon saying like, "I can protect you, but I can't fight a war for you."
Yeah, we're peacekeepers, not soldiers.
Yeah. Then she goes, "Jar Jar Binks, I need something from you."
Some sloppy toppy.
And then they star swipe.
Dude, the transitions. Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
That's George Lucas learned that at USC in like '69, and then it was just like, this is how I'm gonna make movies for the rest of my life.
Guys,
Yeah, the circle.
check this out. You guys remember that THX movie I've been
Remember that
working
shit I
on? Watch this.
Swipes just like from the angle, from the side, from the bottom.
Honestly, I wasn't mad at it this time around. I remember seeing it like 10 years ago and be like, that's cheesy, but I kind of liked it now.
I like all of it.
Does that happen every single movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the new trilogy that's happened?
But it only happens in the episodic ones. I don't know if it happens in the side stories.
No.
Like Rogue One.
Definitely doesn't happen in like Mandalorian or anything. That's because I think that's a George Lucas thing. That's his style.
I could
of
be loud
filmmaking
and wrong.
thing.
It could be happening in there.
I mean, I don't think J.J. Abrams did it, and if he did, they probably did it like once or twice. But because transitions like that aren't really in vogue right now when it comes to movies.
Were they
my
ever?
opinion.
Were they ever?
Yeah, I mean when transitions were new,
I guess.
right? And when they didn't have to do like sound or talkies or whatever.
Talkies.
Talkie.
How much flack did George Lucas get from this movie?
A lot. That's why he didn't direct the next two.
Star Wars fans. No, he directed all three of the prequels.
Yeah, all three.
Oh, really?
The
Yes.
third one was good, I feel.
I really
He
liked
did.
the
He
third
did.
one.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
like,
the third one is the best.
Hardcore Star Wars fans hate George Lucas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, we love this
the
thing that you've
creator.
created, but like
Leave
what
it
you've
alone.
done to it. Yeah. You made it.
Leave it alone, sir.
Put it in someone else's hands and like you could oversee it, but
Yeah.
like if you give him too much power over the films, it turns into this.
So they decide that since the Naboo don't have an army because it's been crushed by the droids, that they're going to use the army of the Gungans. And so they go and plead, what we had spoken about earlier, on top of Siddhartha's head. They plead to the Gungans for an army to help them save the planet.
He's the Buddha.
He's the Buddha.
That
Buddha.
freaked me out. Wait. Why does he do that?
Do you remember that improv game?
Big booty?
No. Jowl's kidding.
No, wait. No. Tell
It
me
was
about
supposed to be like it was a game that came out of Game-O-Matic.
Uh-huh.
And it was called Jowl's Kidding. And so it was like you do a scene, and anytime somebody in the scene said, "Really?" You would have to go,
Yeah.
Jowl's Kidding.
And what, did you get that? Did you create this?
I might have.
And did you get that potentially from Boss Nass?
I would not be surprised if that was my inner inspiration.
Do you know why Boss Nass does that? Or is that just like a weird character thing that they
I
threw
think
in?
it might be a
Just a
cultural
character
thing
trait,
from
yeah.
his people that the Gungans.
Oh, I could
Destroyed
just be
by them.
offending an entire...
The Gangans.
No. You're not offending anyone because they're all dead.
Except for that one. Except for Boss Nass. Well, hang on. There's a couple of the big Boss Nass characters around him. Remember, and there's like 2 or 3 chairs with him. So there's a couple Boss Nass
Okay,
figures.
do Gungans ever come back into the
They're
Star
like an
Wars
upper
franchise?
crust like society thing.
Jar Jar makes one more appearance in episode 3, I believe.
Really?
Also,
Yeah.
there's hot Gungan action in the Clone Wars
Yes.
series.
You guys haven't watched it, right?
No.
not at all.
There's like
I
a
recommend
whole
it.
trilogy of episodes that they go back to Naboo, and there's like another war.
Yeah.
And they're like what? They're like 10 minutes each. The episodes are really short,
No.
right?
No,
That's the OG Clone Wars.
Okay, but then
Yes.
they turned into 30-minute episodes afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay, I really want to watch it now. That
both are
this is-
great.
Yeah, I
all
will say
available.
like it was like a kid series at
Yeah.
first, probably the first 2 seasons, right? And then it started to mature later on. It got more into the political side of things,
For sure,
but
for
again,
sure.
it got more interesting. So
I'm done. It's on Disney Plus. Why not?
Yeah, we have everything.
Truck your
available.
way through the first season.
yes,
Yeah.
Hashtag it gets better.
Well, Alan was telling me that he appreciates this movie much more after having watched the animated series because it gives a little more context, like
more depth.
Like,
yes,
Palpatine, he's twisting everything. You can kind of see it in episode 1. I didn't really focus on it because, like you said, like I haven't watched it in like 10 years.
Yeah.
Like it's been a minute, so like I really paid attention. I was like, oh shit, they're talking about stuff that happens later on in the series. And then of course, like George Lucas helps write, I think, some of the Clone Wars too.
Yeah.
So like
Fillion did a lot of it.
What's that?
Fillion, Dan, what's that guy's name?
Dave Filoni.
Dave Filoni.
Dave Filoni.
Yeah. Shout out to Dave Filoni.
wow,
But-
Star
guy's
Wars
really
fans
good.
hate George Lucas.
Love
Dave
Dave
Filoni.
Filoni.
And Jon Favreau now.
yes,
And
Fav.
Jon Favreau.
Yeah.
John Fav after Mandalorian, yeah.
So the Gungans set up their battle with the droids, and they take a page right out of the Wakandans playbook.
Oh, with the barrier,
They make
Do
it-
they take a page out of the Wakandans playbook?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
or did they the other way around? What came out first?
I think that's a very easy answer.
Cinematically, I'm gonna say episode 1 did.
Because it took place a long, long time ago.
However, Endgame is based off of the Infinity Gauntlet
That's
series,
why I'm asking.
which came out in the 80s in the comics. But I
Did they
never
both-
read that series,
Yeah,
so
I
I
don't
don't
think-
know.
who knows
if
if
they
that
did the
force field
dome.
exists?
They don't have, yeah. So they do a Wakanda style force field. And the droids, my favorite scene with the droids is when they have them all out and then they're like, they're like,
It was
getting into
really
battle
cool.
mode.
Freaking love that.
And they
so
turn
good.
and they're just like,
So when people like bash on the battle droids, I'm like, no, battle
They're actually
droids
legit.
is great. They are walking turrets.
that's the future of our wars.
They're just mass produced.
Shooters.
But I
and
will say
compact.
the only flaw though is that they're controlled at one source.
They got the hive mind.
Yeah. And so Anakin accidentally destroys that
The main reactor for the
control-
ship.
Yeah.
And just blows up the entire Trade Federation ship, killing millions of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait. Let's talk. Well, not millions of people. There were only a few life forms on those ships.
Did they say that?
true.
A
They
lot
do.
of droids.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So-
but the life forms that are there are like the Viceroy.
No, they are like high ups. The Viceroy does escape.
Important
the
people.
Viceroy does escape.
It's all, it's all-
really?
yeah, he does. 'cause-
He's down in the capital at Theed and he gets captured.
and he's also in Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
Later on.
But let's talk about this. A forefront battle.
Yes.
We got the
Space battle.
We got the space battle, which I love. It's a classic, or like original recipe Star Wars space battle.
Yep,
Where you
with-
see
with
the
a child.
pilots and they're like, yeah, like
Bravo number 6 coming in.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god,
I love that they
Five.
brought that back.
Ugh, I love that
Love
stuff.
it.
At the same time, they're having the Gungan droid battle.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're also having the
Which is a very unique battle. What movie have you ever seen a battle like that? I've seen dozens of sword on shield. I've seen countless, bullet. But when's the last time you saw laser guns versus
rocks.
catapults and rocks and holographic shields
And whatever
whatnot?
their
Again,
mounts
Wakanda
were.
shields.
The Gungan mounts.
Forever.
That would get. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the
What
camels.
are those? They're like
Duck
half
camels.
camels.
up the shields.
And every kill that Jar Jar gets is accidental.
Yeah. If you look at the battle behind him, everybody's just sort of like wrestling over a gun.
No one's actually dying.
Yeah.
I didn't see one dead Gungan after like the
Well,
battle.
you're not gonna like see like a droid like step on the neck of a Gungan and like start plugging
kinda
him.
want to.
Also, if
least
this
one.
movie was made now, you might.
Yes.
You might get one quick scene of like a droid like stepping on like a Gungan's like help. And
I was gonna be like the scene from Saving Private Ryan where you got one going like "Rolt, and just slowly
The knife.
driving the knife.
It's a tiny lightsaber.
Yeah.
The droid grows lips and kisses him and then stabs him in the heart.
Well, Star Wars is way different now.
Then the third battlefield is the humans versus the droids in the hangar
Yes.
Well, I mean, like
In the city
in
of-
the city, yeah.
of the city.
There's the whole city
Yeah.
battle because there's all like the underground resistance.
Yeah, because they mentioned there's like a few cops and rebels who are like still fighting the resistance.
It's kind of like with the French citizens and the Nazis.
Correct.
People always talk about like, oh, the French, they gave up in World War II. It's like,
Yeah.
no. They had no choice. They had no defense. Nazis totally went around the Maginot Line. Anyways,
Yeah.
but the French people did not surrender to the Nazis, and they did a little underground resistance shit,
They definitely did.
just like the Nubians.
And you know how the Nazis beat the French so fast? They marched backwards, and all the French thought they were leaving. So,
Let's fool them.
Do you have the rim shot? And then we got the fourth one,
which is
the Jedi battle.
the
My-
Jedi Sith fight.
Okay.
I'm so glad we said let's get into the meat and potatoes.
This Jedi. Okay. The first thing I thought of was when Darth Maul comes out and then takes off his hood. You see horns.
In the face.
I'm putting myself. I'm time traveling as I'm watching this. I put myself in the position as like a big Star Wars fan in 1999 in the
6-year-old.
theater, watching this.
That's exactly
seeing
what
him,
it's for.
Seeing him pull out the lightsaber. Okay, red lightsaber. I'm freaking the fuck out.
Dope.
The second saber comes out.
I'm gonna pass out and pee my pants.
Do you think the theater must have
I'm gonna
just
pee my pants and
gone
pass out.
wild when they saw that there was a
They
double-sided
knew
lightsaber?
it was coming because it was in
the
all the
it was all-
commercials,
yeah.
all the toys. But the audience still was like, "Ooh!"
Imagine if the toys or any merchandise did not come out yet, and they were just seeing this movie for the first time.
Oh my god, a lightsaber could come out of the backside.
Oh my god, this is
Why
wild.
doesn't it just come out of
It's not gonna come out of the side.
They have like a third one.
Like an L. Aha.
Well, now we do have
It
that.
just
We actually
gets
do have
longer.
like the T-shaped.
Oh, fucking
It's
Kylo Ren.
shaped like a crucifix. Think about it.
Jesus, they do have angels and hell in this franchise.
angel?
Yeah.
Are you an angel?
And Han Solo,
moons of Diego,
You want to see my droid that I built?
and Han Solo says, "I'll see you in hell" when he's riding out into the
he
snow.
does.
Yeah,
Push the nose.
So both hell and angels exist in the Star Wars franchise. So Darth Maul shows up, reveals both lightsabers. I have a fun little story about Darth Maul. When George Lucas went to, I believe the makeup artist and the designer of the character. He says, "I want you to draw Darth Maul as your scariest nightmare that you've ever had." And the guy thought back about a nightmare that he had, a reoccurring nightmare where this undead being is smushing his face against the glass and screaming, and there's lightning. And so he drew this very graphic, scary photo. And George Lucas took one look at it. It scared him so bad, he said, "Draw your second scariest nightmare." And the guy came back with the Darth Maul face with lightning on his face and horns. And there, some of the original mock-ups of Darth Maul, he had horns up to here.
There's one where it was like a kid with like a bionic spider suit.
Yeah, the droideka legs. Like,
yeah.
They were really, I think after Wild Wild West, they're like, yeah, we can't do that one.
Oh, we can't. They ruined it.
But the Darth Maul, Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan fight is maybe the second best fight in the whole franchise to me. The only one that I think is better is Obi-Wan and Anakin. Revenge of the Sith.
I don't know.
With that. I can agree with that.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best.
Are we not talking about The Last Jedi when Kylo and Rey they fight all those guards?
That's really good.
that's a
was
good
pretty
one.
Hang on.
Yeah,
That's only
actually.
really good when they redo it with the Queen, "Don't Stop Me Now." And they're like, "Don't."
What?
Have you seen that? No. Just don't have it. And it's like on beat. It's so
Having a good time.
fucking
Having
It's
a
good.
good
choreographed
time.
rhythmically.
It's so good. That one, yes, in a fun way. That one is number one.
Gotta check that out. I just remember watching that and going like, this is maybe one of the best lightsaber fights I've ever seen in my
I
life.
didn't like the guys who had like lightsaber whips and the guy who had like a lightsaber scythe. Like I was just like, yeah.
Quick question.
Yes, you and the Christian skin.
Thank you very much. How is it that no one's ever like accidentally chopped off their own limb with their own lightsaber?
Oh,
I'm glad you asked.
Especially Darth Maul. He's dealing with this long rod.
Alejandro, if you would like to field this one.
No, sir. After you.
Okay, they have training sabers.
Boom.
And so they just know exactly.
It's more like a ooh. I didn't like
it
that.
numbs them. It's like
Ooh,
it's like the energy beam in between the podcast. It'll just numb you for a little bit so
Yeah.
you learn your lesson.
Or what if they accidentally sit on their lightsaber and it just like
Well,
Game over, man.
Yeah, that one doesn't get to be a Jedi.
you obviously don't deserve that lightsaber.
That one's off the team.
You and your fat ass sat on the red button that you're not supposed to press. Okay, another question. As a kid, someone told me that the lightsaber only turns on if you hold it. It's not like a turn. You press it once, it comes out. You have to hold it the entire time.
Never been established.
Okay.
I mean, Return of the Jedi, Darth Vader throws his lightsaber.
but is
Yeah.
he using his force to keep the button pressed is what I'm
No,
thinking.
I think he's going, watch this.
Okay.
I want to say when you first see lightsabers in Episode 4, Luke doesn't push the activation button that we come to know on that specific lightsaber because we
The
know
little
Anakin-
one, because he always thought it was the box.
Yeah. He actually pushes on the back, which according to the Star Wars books is actually like the control or whatever. But again, they didn't have this shit figured out at that time. They were just like making it up, and then they had to like fix it in the end.
You look at the Millennium Falcon before the sequel trilogy.
So much better.
There's no steering wheel. And
just sit down.
Harrison Ford was like, George, how do I steer this thing? There's just a bunch of switches. He's like, I'll fucking make it up.
Did you hear when
He swore so much.
Oscar Isaac got the role in Star Wars as a pilot? He got in contact with Harrison Ford and was like, hey, how do you do it to sit in the cockpit, make it look real? What do you do in the spaceship so that people believe that you're a spaceship pilot? And Harrison Ford goes, nobody knows what a spaceship pilot looks like. You can do anything in the cockpit and they'll think you're a spaceship pilot.
Love it.
Oscar Isaac was like, yeah, I guess I could do anything in here. And people were just like,
such a dick.
yeah, man. It's like, he's a real pilot. He didn't have to be a douche.
Yeah.
He could have just been nice about it.
Lose my number.
Delete my number immediately. Watching Qui-Gon die
Dude, I
was one of the first deaths that affected me as a child.
audibly screamed. I was more sad about that than like real deaths that have occurred on this planet.
Do you think when Darth Maul stabs him and pulls the lightsaber out, it instantly cauterized that wound, so he's actually dying because he just has a gaping hole in his chest?
Yeah, man.
He's not necessarily bleeding out. He like has like a cauterized hole that he's just like.
I don't know. He's dead either way. That's like
He is.
that's I don't know. I wish I could tell you. I'm not familiar with the technology.
Ewan McGregor and Liam Neeson got to choose their lightsaber handles.
Really?
And they only had 20 minutes to do it.
Yep. By the
That
way,
one.
the behind-the-scenes footage of them practicing is almost as entertaining as the movie.
There's also so when they did the set for this film, they only built up to where the actors' heads are, and then they CGI'd the rest of it. But because Liam Neeson is so much taller than everybody else on set, he cost the cast and crew an extra $150,000 to build the set a little bit higher so that they could film it with his head in shot.
He's like, sorry guys, I didn't choose to be this tall. He's 6'4".
Yo,
Yeah,
sorry,
he's
I'm sorry being this tall.
Sorry guys, it's just so hard being the tall.
We hate Irish people, apparently. in
It's
this
hard to
film.
do a Northern Irish accent, but you nailed it.
Again, impeccable accent.
Where's my daughter?
You know who else? You've never seen Liam Neeson and Gary Coleman in the same room.
Think about it. Illuminati.
So the Darth Maul fight, he kills Qui-Gon. Obi-Wan gets his shot. Obi-Wan has the low ground.
Dude, as soon as... Hashtag that's true. As soon as Qui-Gon dies and Obi-Wan taps into the dark a little bit, the fight choreography is tight.
Yes.
Not like, I know people have broken it down and been like, this is not a killing stroke. If you see like where the arc is, he wouldn't actually hit. It's like, shut up. I'm not watching this for accurate sword fighting.
Yeah,
But wouldn't you say Jedis probably don't train to kill? I don't think
that's not
they're
their...
bringers.
they're not sold. Yeah, so I would say probably.
George Lucas based them on Shaolin monks.
Perfect.
Who actually were like, Jedis for their time, and they would just go around being monks.
Yeah.
Just solving problems.
Ooh.
Yeah, he also got the idea of the Force from the Vril, which was a power that they believed the Vril energy was like the organ energy, spill blood or something. Madame Blavatsky was really into it, and then it led to Nazism, but I don't want to go down that path. You get mad at me when I
I
do.
have no idea what you're talking about. This is all new.
Yeah, the whole idea of midi-chlorians is based on Vril energy, which was this idea that people had where you could like grow energy from organ, blood, and shit like that. And again, I'll do it off mic because Christian hates when I take our podcast this way.
Oh, we're already here.
Well, okay, so never mind. I couldn't go.
You've
forever.
already talked about a lot at this
Is
point.
this not the topic you would like to talk about?
This is not the topic we talk about. Fights Darth Maul. I mean, we're getting near the end here,
Pretty
Christian.
much.
Is there anything
Well,
Nubian pistols are the best.
not better than Han Solo's?
But whatever. That's a sniper rifle that's been sawed off. No. Homegirl, Queen Amidala, she pulls him out of the chair.
Keeps two in her throne.
Boom. One shot knocks a droid out.
Yep.
Whereas
Just
like
one.
other shots would be like pew pew
And they
pew,
fall.
and then they go ow ow
Ouchie,
ow.
ouch.
Nubian ones, boom.
50
Jango
cal.
Fett in the second movie. You look at his pistols.
Dope pistol.
They look Nubian.
Good catch.
They're
might
dope
be
pistols, yeah.
Nubian
I think it might be.
pistols.
I think the Naboo make dope guns.
I think what nobody's noticing is that the Queen's throne just has two guns in it.
she's ready. She has to protect
does-
herself.
kind of like the Professor X action figure.
Oh shit!
Whoa.
Way to bring it back. Attaboy.
If the queen is already thinking so far ahead that she needs to have a decoy for her own protection, having two pistols right there on the throne is not that far off.
One for the decoy, one for the Queen.
Was Natalie Portman the actual queen?
No,
I don't know
Kira-
anymore.
Throughout I'm saying throughout the entire franchise.
I don't know.
I don't know,
anymore.
dude.
Or was there somebody else? One of the other handmaids is like so behind the scenes queen.
It's like,
She's like, I don't
Wizard
even,
of Oz.
I don't even want people to know that I've ever been the queen.
Well, when I watched this movie immediately after I turned on episode 2 and we watch her decoy get killed, we don't know who the fuck that's just a different decoy. So maybe she has 3 or 4 queen decoys.
Do you think there's just some like handmaidens that are just like that wanted to be included, but they were just they did not look like
one
your
had a big
Nyla?
nose, the other one has like a chin out here, and like one of them has blue eyes.
There's handmaiden auditions.
They're just a little off,
no.
and then they finally find the one. They find Keira Knightley, and like, perfect, she's the one.
Too fat, too short, big nose,
Too furious.
Too skinny,
too
too
fat.
bald, Dominic Toretto.
I would watch a movie called Too Fat, Too Furious.
They're gonna make that movie.
Did you ever see Super Fast?
No,
The Fast and the Furious,
Like the parody film?
Parody.
Oh my god.
So it's written by 2 guys, and it's half funny.
well, aren't all parody
Half
films half funny?
funny?
It's like, you remember the moments in Scary Movie when it was
Yes.
just like, that's funny, and then there are other moments in Scary Movie where you're like, nah, that's not that funny.
It's like that.
Super Speed definitely hits that.
Super fast or super
Super
speed?
fast, I think.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Super Speed is what the Flash does.
It came out like right after Paul Walker's last movie came out.
Wow.
But it got sort of like sidelined because Paul Walker died, and
Yeah,
they
you
were
wanna make
making
fun
fun
of
of
this
him.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, poor timing.
Bad.
Do you gentlemen want to rate this film?
Yeah, I'm gonna give this I'll give this a 3. 3 out of 5.
It's a solid 4 for me. It's a good. I mean, I know people hate it, but it's a solid watch.
So if I was gonna be like critical, I'd be like, oh well, there's this and there's this and this and this, but there's so much about this movie that I love, and
Yes.
there's so much detail like behind stuff, like we were talking about with the pod racers, and they all have their own backstories and stuff like that. And we didn't even talk about how we got a Whose Line Is It Anyways alum announcing the whole pod race.
This fucking.
Wait, who was it?
It's Greg Proots.
Greg Proots is. Oh, really?
He's cat dog.
Quadranero.
He's cat dog announcer.
Yeah.
The two-headed announcer.
Yeah.
Wild.
The other guy is also a comedian, and he thought that they were just going to be bantering back and forth, and then like close to like shoot date, they're like, "All right, here are your lines," and it's just like, "I'm not speaking English."
Oh,
Well,
Okay.
that's all it's hard. Oh, that sucks.
I mean, you know what? I'm gonna give it a 4.
I think that's a good rating. Alan Boo?
I'd give it a 4. Again,
Oh,
like
a
I watched the Clone
4.
Wars series, so it made me appreciate it a lot more.
I
Christian,
gotta
do you want to
appreciate-
revisit your rating?
No, I'm gonna keep it at 3.
Attaboy. Hey,
sure?
way to double down.
Yeah, I'm gonna
fine.
keep it at
That's
3 because I know that I don't want to diminish the rating scale because I know I'm gonna watch Revenge of the Sith and be like, that's
5.
that's a solid 1. Like they really polished and tried.
Solid.
It's a solid, like a solid 1 as a movie. This is a solid movie. That's just solid.
I thought you were
1 out of
giving
5.
a solid
solid
rating
1 out
of
of
1.
5.
And I was like, what?
No,
We didn't
incredible
even
movie.
We didn't even give Thanksgiving a 1.
Dude, this like that lightsaber scene really did not save it for me, but it was the best part.
Brought
Even
it to
like
the next level.
yes,
Yeah.
Let's save the best for last.
Also, Darth Maul's ship, I think, is one of the best spaceships
cool.
in the entire universe. Also, the only one that I've seen with green exhaust.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I thought that would have a little bit of a bigger splash. That's
Oh, yeah,
fine.
green exhaust.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you.
Wait, what? Green exhaust?
Fuck everybody.
No, I was thinking about what to say next.
Well, we can give our best person on set award.
Yes,
Christian, why don't you go first?
I'm gonna give it to Ray Park, who is
Nice,
the
Darth
actor,
Maul.
who is Darth Maul, who is also Toad from the first X-Men.
And Snake Eyes.
Oh, and really?
OG Snake Eyes.
Oh, I was gonna
now
say-
it's Gold. What's the dude
Goldberg from WCW.
from? No, it's Goldberg from the Mighty Ducks.
Boy, has he gotten skinny.
It's crack is a hell of a drug, sir.
I hope he's doing well. He's a Sharks fan, so Shark on,
I
brother.
think he's actually in prison.
Oh, Goldberg.
Your best person on set award?
Okay, this is going to be very difficult for me. I'm still thinking about it. Off the top of my head, I'm going to go. I mean, there's Ben Burt, the sound guy.
Okay, good.
The sound
Beautiful.
is
Okay.
amazing.
Yes, yes.
And he used new techniques.
Like babies crying and
this-
lowered the pitch of it and added gurgling noises and yeah, he did really
incredible.
good.
Listen, so watch any of the Star Wars movies with the commentary. Ben Burt is the best part of those.
For sure.
He talks about like stories when, like in Return of the Jedi, when Darth Vader is walking down the plank of the Imperial shuttle.
Mm-hmm.
He said he got that sound by he and a buddy snuck into the facility that's under the Golden Gate Bridge with some like old army boots and
Jesus.
recorded like the sound of his friend walking.
Yeah, and the original sounds of
That's
lightsaber or laser guns.
The lasers.
Was is it choo, choo, if you have like a metal cord very tight.
He
hit it with the-
climbed up one of those power things and banged on it.
I'm changing mine to what's his name? Ben Burt.
Ben Burr.
Bill Burr.
Bill
Ben Burt. He also wrote the Droids cartoon, which is now in the Vintage collection
Oh,
of
that's
Disney Plus.
cool.
I love that thing, by the way.
Oh my gosh, I have so much.
My
to
other
watch.
guy, Rick McCallum. He is the producer. He's the guy.
Attaboy.
He made it happen. Like George Lucas was just like, I want to do this, and Rick was like, okay, I'll figure that
Here's
out.
my checkbook.
He was like the guy who he wasn't the executive producer.
Oh,
he was,
that was George.
He was the producer. He
Yes.
was the guy. He was
Who got everybody together and really like
the
this
hero
man does art. This
and
man
the
does.
villain of the movie because he made George Lucas's vision happen, but
But
at the
then he
same
also
time,
made George Lucas's vision happen.
he never said no to him. That was the other problem. Is George needed somebody to say no to him.
His wife in the first three. His wife was the one who kind of like kept him in check.
Oh, filtered him.
Yeah, was really like, hey, no, don't, I don't think it's gonna be a good idea to do this. I don't think.
then
And
I
then
divorced her after or before
before
Temple
this one
of
came
Doom.
out, yeah, and then nobody told him no.
Which is
And
why
then-
this trilogy happened.
But then
the way it
Kathleen
did.
Kennedy came in and she would tell him no quite a bit, actually. So good for her.
Someone has to be that person.
My best person on set award is Ahmad Best. I know people hate Jar Jar Binks. I love Jar Jar Binks. He's a 10-pole in cinema history, whether you
He
like it
wore
or not.
that rubber suit.
He wore a rubber suit the entire time with like cool ass sunglasses and a fake head. It ruined his career, and I don't think it should have.
He's the host of a Jedi game show now.
Really?
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
that makes me really happy. That
it's
makes
glad
me
he's
kind of
doing
like
something.
Legends of the Hidden Temple, but Star Wars.
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
I'm not joking
So they
when
make-
I say that it is great.
Is it with adults or kids?
It's with kids.
Oh,
and
am I
he
too
is-
old for it?
He is no.
I want to be on it.
He's a Jedi, and he is like guiding these Padawans through these like obstacles that they have to go
love
through,
it. I love
and
it.
they have to accomplish them as a team. It's all about teamwork, and it will give you positive chills.
Much like Doghouse UK on HBO Max.
Oh, that's your favorite show right now.
Any last minute thoughts, guys?
Let's
Alan,
ask
do you
Alan,
have
your
a
best person on set award?
set
I'm
award?
gonna say John Williams.
Duh.
I gotta say John Williams.
Duel of the Fates.
Duel of the Fates is what I'm saying. It's one of my favorite tracks in all of Star Wars.
One of the best.
One of the
themes.
best. Like the orchestra plus the choir.
Dun,
Dude,
dun,
come on,
dun,
man.
dun,
It's
dun,
so-
dun, dun, dun.
Dude,
I want to go
John
to
Williams,
a
man.
Star Wars concert, like an orchestra concert.
Oh, I love when they do like Indiana Jones with a full symphony. I love that shit.
They do that with so many things, like
Blade Runner.
movies, video games, like
Yeah,
Legend
yeah.
of Zelda, like a
Yes.
full-on like symphony.
But if John Williams was he had a rock band, he would open with Star Wars. He would open with ba ba da da, and everyone would go, yeah, Star Wars. But the hit song that he would play at the end that everybody has been waiting to sing along to would be Duel of the
Duel
Fates.
of the Fates, man.
He would bring the choir out and they'd be like, "Oh fuck,
This is
oh
crazy.
fuck." Do you think it's?
Yeah.
Do you think it's?
Everyone
oh,
shut the
shit.
fuck up.
And then he'll be like,
Everyone
"Ladies
shut
and
the fuck
gentlemen, the all albino choir."
Please, no flash photography.
Oh
Turn the lights down. Turn the lights down. Turn the lights down.
no! Who took a picture?
Bring the scrim down.
Oh my gosh! Incredible.
This has been great. I do have a hard out. I have to
Yes.
run.
You got
I was like, what's a hard out? Is
Yeah,
that like
it's
a new kind of like
hard.
Sorry.
it's a hard out of my pants. So I am gonna skedaddle. Feel free to
Yeah.
keep a little bit more if you want. Or but
I mean, I think Alan took all of these notes. I want to give a big shout out to
Yes.
him once again. It keeps everything flowing.
And not only did he take these notes, but we were kind of going back and forth. He was keeping me on track the entire time that we were talking here.
Mm-hmm.
So, Alan, extra kudos, man. We owe you the moon, everything, man.
Buy me a beer.
We'll buy you
there
a
we
million
go.
of them.
I gotta
yeah.
say, I'm impressed by the Boo legacy. It lives strong.
It
Hey,
does.
boo. I've been Alejandro.
I've been Christian.
You've been Greg.
True.
You can follow me at call_me_Jesus.
Follow me at Christian as asthma.
You can follow the podcast at ICBTB Podcast. Also, guys, don't forget to check out our website.
We still have
ICBT
some merch.
We do.
We're planning on some new merch coming out.
We're re-upping on things that are sold out right now.
Those
so
bobbleheads are tight.
yes, those will be here in
Man.
18 months.
Crazy. They got my nose right.
And you know what? They got mine completely wrong. That's why we have to get them sent
Sorry,
back.
that's my fault.
That's the picture we sent them to. We should have sent them a better picture.
Did you guys actually make bobbleheads?
No, but that's a great idea. We will get there
Your
eventually.
yes end was tight.
I want to make action figures of us.
Oh, remember when Target would make you into like a Captain America action figure for a little while?
Really?
Yeah, they would like take a picture and then you could like order it and they'd ship it to
I
you.
would love that. I would love action figures of us, where when you squeeze the legs, we have a mic in one hand and it brings it up to the face.
Like a WWE action figure. I'm pretty sure I had a Stone Cold Steve Austin action figure that did that very move.
But they discontinued it because every time you did that, you go, "You damn mother-"
Whoa, that's a really weird action figure you got there, man.
I don't know why my dad thinks I'm gay.
Yeah, I don't know.
the way kids play with my action figure.
Look, when I had wrestling action figures, they didn't do no dick sucking action.
Son of a bitch.
Not my son.
Get the Undertaker doll. Yeah, thank you guys. Great movie. Thank you, Greg. What
Thank
a
you
great
guys. This has
week.
been so much fun.
You'll be
Both
back.
of these are-
I
yes,
really
yes.
actually.
We should do the 3 prequels.
I want to do Attack of the Clones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like actually, yeah, sooner than later.
What are you doing tomorrow?
I'm going to a pizza party. I'm so sorry.
Oh, for somebody who got straight A's?
Then an ice cream social.
Very nice, very nice.
Finally invited.
Yeah, guys, check out the Tuesday episode. We really dive into some nostalgia with Greg. Christian, you're always pretty. Thank you so much.
Very yeet.
Very yeet.
Super bussin'.
Whereas I'm kind of oof.
And honestly,
Oof.
I
Sheesh.
stan.
Stan.
Stand by me.
All right, Alan, let's sign us out.
Yeah, Alan, sing us out.
You don't have to sing.
A 1, a 2.
I can't
A
sing.
skid, you diddly
I
do.
can't sing, man.
It can't be that bad.
Sorry, look into the camera. Say one last thing for the
Oh,
baddies.
yes.
I forgot to do
Yeah,
that.
Greg, we need you to take a look into camera C now, right? It's camera C now.
Yeah.
Take a look at camera C.
Okay.
And just give all the baddies one piece of advice.
So I try to tell this to everybody who ever comes into my life. Please drive safe and make good decisions.
You do always say that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's actually really good.
Well done. Well done.
All right.
I like when our guests do that right. Like, we've
Yeah.
never had a bad response.
No, not at all. Well, actually, we had someone just say like,
Go fuck yourselves. You're a
keep
bunch
drinking.
of dicks.
That was my mom. No, I'm just kidding.
Can't be that bad, oh, it 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 can't be that bad.
Baddies, thank you for listening. We are brought to you by companies like M3 is 3D. And if you want to get more information about them, click their link in the description below. If you want to learn a little bit more about us, see some old episodes, buy some merch, check it out on ICBTB.com. Of course, you can always get in contact with us there and on our socials at ICBTB Podcast. And that's good stuff. Thank you.